Okay, so we've now gone through and worked through a couple of the goals, and you can see that the schema is in front of you. I haven't introduced you to this element on the menu, and this one will allow you to accurately choose a scale, but it will also allow you to do things like fit to pane. Now, as I'm working on a laptop at the moment, this has made that schema look quite small. If I fit to width, then it fills the screen. If I fit to height, then it goes back to small again. Now, in order to submit this, I've actually got to complete all of my evaluation before I send it to my line manager. But let's just review. We've done Domain Knowledge 1, we've done G3, and we're going to have a little look at, I think we've actually done G2 as well. Let's just check. Yes, we've got values in those. So we've got that completed. And now we're looking at physical and psychological drive. Notice that wherever you've got to put in a value, there is a pencil. So you're going to enter the value. The value is weighted, and generally there would be some information given to you as to what that means. So if you feel that you're up to date with your study calendar, then you meet the benchmark, you can work on that. If you're delivering promises, you will have made promises in a previous evaluation or meeting, then you can actually do that. If you don't feel you've quite met them, then you can actually stick it into there. In terms of this negative attitude, if you feel that you haven't got particularly a negative attitude to your work, this is for you to evaluate, remember. It's a self-evaluation process, so that might be 0, you've got a very positive attitude, or it might be negative. But even by putting in 1, I've not met the benchmark, I've not gone over the line. Notice that by completing things like that, these have influenced the actual score that I've got on G3. I can close that down now. I've completed it. So now I've got values for G1, G2, G3, and then in other sessions we would continue to work through these, putting in the information. How good is my time management? Well, I'm going to put myself at around about there. Self-checking, do I do that to my work? Actually, I'm pretty good at that, so I'm going to give myself a good score. And what about drop-in standards? I don't think there has been a drop-in standard. I'm going to leave it like that. Close that down. Creativity and adaptability. Let's move this up. Applying diverse knowledge. Actually, that's something I might need to work on. Let's just, before doing that, coming up with new ideas. Well, I'm very good at thinking outside the box, so I'm going to say that I've done that twice. And no ideas at all. No, I've never been in that position, so I've set my levels. So I need to make sure I've put a value in there, and I'm going to say 0. Again, it has generated a score for me. I can close that down. Quality and consistency, ability to apply previous learnt skills. Yeah, I'm actually quite good at that. Just a little bit above the benchmark. Meeting relevant standards. I could do with a bit of work. Complacency, non-conformity in 10 observations. No, I've reached conformity. I think I'm doing quite well. Notice this is down to me to make a judgment. Have I created a diary of learning and actions? Yeah, not quite up to date. And not taking in the knowledge. Twice. Rapid change of domain. Involvement and knowledge change. Immaturity or complacency. And then finally, use of relevant practice. I've done that once. I have, and lack of variety of work. No. So now I can close that down. I've got one more to do. Improvement over time. Close that down. And now I've actually got my score for the overall role. That is showing I have a score of 0.77. Here's the actual benchmark, and my score has exceeded that. So I've done really well with that particular element. I'm now in a position to both save, just in case I want to come back, but if I feel that I've submitted it, or I'm ready to submit, I can now send that to my line manager. I'm actually not going to do that for the moment, but that's just so that you know how that works. Remember, you can actually print your schema, and for that I'd be very tempted to open it all up and then print the schema so that you have a record of it. That's the end of this tutorial.